Yo, how's it going everyone? Now, this is going to be quite an interesting video that I never thought to do up until now. We're going to be going for a 3-lap race in the Endurance GT Group 2 cars at the well-known Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. But this time, it's going to be done in the reverse layout. Now, I've got a load, and I mean a load of racing experience on this track, and I've actually done quite a bit of practice on the reverse layout prior to making this, and it has been a very enjoyable experience if I do say so myself. Side note, from the song you've just heard in the intro, this whole idea was sort of inspired by the GT World Challenge series. Now if you don't know what GT World Challenge is, it's pretty much a racing platform in motorsport which uses your average road cars and modifies them for the FIA GT3 regulations. Recently there's been quite the interesting dilemma. Take a look, see?
On the left, it is going to be Adrian Miney who leads, and Maxime Martin then in the red and white Mercedes makes contact, and again a Boots and Porsche demolished, and there's absolute mayhem, and that takes out the leaders. 6, 7, 8, 9 cars, absolute mayhem, and all of that was triggered long before the corner.
So that just goes to show that even the top drivers in the world still can't resist the primal urge to just cause mayhem at turn 1 in Monza. Just like the actual primitives in the online lobbies of sim racing games in general. So anyways, enough with the turn 1 Monza nonsense, starting from the back of the grid like I always do against the hardest difficulty AI. We're inside the mighty Audi R8 LMS Ultra, a car that I've had tons of racing experience in both single player, career and the online modes.
Are you sure about that?
Huh? The handling of it is just off the charts. It practically glides through the corners like melted butter. Here I actually installed a custom livery mod of it, which is the Team PlayStation livery. Also a fun random fact, but my favourite colours are blue and yellow, in that precise order. The fact that the livery has blue and yellow graphics embedded onto the back just added an extra few marks for fitting my own personal taste. Not only that, but I also happen to install another mod that makes the AI faster and cleaner. Or at least as clean as good autosport AI it can be. And we all know how horrendous the AI in this game is. Cue Exhibit A, shall we? Alright, so enough with the good autosport AI nonsense, onto the actual race itself. Right about here I set the team orders to push just to get my teammate to try and make up some ground, as they're literally all the way Narnia at the back, so hopefully they do just that. Going over 180 miles per hour down the reverse long straight, dipping all 4 tyres into the grass, trying to gain some places without contact. That's going to be a recurring theme for this video, just trying to slip through, avoid as much contact as possible and avoid any damages to the car. Right here I'm just trying to aim for a clean race overall. Coming through to the reverse of PurXion, again, really trying to avoid contacts. We almost bumped shoulders, but luckily none were bumped. I had to leave a wide load of space here, because even with the mod, the AI never fails to pull the most predictable of dirty moves imaginable. Coming down the other long straight, this one really felt like a gigantic roller coaster. Now the damage is set to full, and I wanted to play it safe. I really wanted to play it safe. So I lifted off the power slightly and hit the brakes, since I did not know what the other driver's intentions were. Here I brake extremely hard right here. I didn't have the braking zones dialed in, so what you see is nothing short of pure driving instincts. So, second lap in and we slide our way into P4 with very minimal contacts. We set a 2 minute 14.85. Now, if this were ACC, which is Acero Corsa Competizione, I think I said that correctly, a sub 2 minute 15 at the regular Spa would probably be the top 10, if not the world record lap time. For myself, it was a real challenge to get past the 2 minute 20s, which is basically the average lap there for most people.
Good evening.
I had a Thrustmaster T128 with the T2PM pedals, which were absolutely garbage. So, in the future, with a proper sim, I'll definitely look to improve on ACC and even dive into the more popular sim titles like the infamous Gran Turismo 7. So right here we chase what is Grid Autosport's fastest driver, Nathan McCain. Most who are familiar with the Grid series may know this guy. Definitely quick, but also quite a nuisance and a hassle to deal with. In Grid Legends, he's basically the villain of the story.
Trying to overtake Valentin Mazzi now, and he's being clipped.
Nate, what was that today, man?
You got a problem with me, Valentine? I got no problem dealing with you.
If you want to trash talk me in the press, that's fine. But you keep pulling up there, that stops. Or you're gonna get somebody hurt. Yeah?
Hopefully, it'll be you.
Which makes sense given how in autosports, the entire Raven West team is known to be very dirty. Now obviously, the entire Grid Autosport teams, all of the teams in Grid Autosport are pretty much dirty, but Raven West in particular does not shy away from a dirty punt or two.
Nice shot.
Now, you've seen Eau Rouge being taken flat out multiple times. It's a real testing ground to see which cars can stay on the throttle throughout without lifting. But, is it possible to take it flat out in reverse? Absolutely. At least with practice and muscle memory anyway. It's quite an exhilarating ride downhill, just do not forget the braking zones as it can be quite daunting going so fast into one of the tightest hairpins imaginable in most racing circuits. Alright, so second lap done, we get a solid 2 minutes 08.1, which is an alright benchmark for most on the regular layouts. Now this final lap is going to be sort of a push lap, so we're going to be on the bonnet cam for this one. Most racers, even in other sims, would likely agree that this is probably the best view when trying to focus on the race, as you just get a much nicer and broader scope of the entire track. Which makes it easier to judge the braking zones, and in all honesty it makes me feel like I'm one with the car, if that makes sense. Now this bit I'd really like to emphasize was quite tricky to get down just right. Even when I was practicing, it really helps to mark the point where you ease off the throttle and knowing when to get back down on it. I still feel like there's a lot of room to improve on it. I didn't quite get the car planted right, but for now I'd say it was a pretty solid attempt overall. And here for the third time in a row down Eau Rouge reverse full throttle, beautifully done this time, just shy off the track limits. Then bracing ourselves for the massive braking zone to be done. Almost going right, but we get it stopped nonetheless. And through the checkered flag we go, finishing a clean race at Spa, reverse in the GT Group 2 cars endurance discipline. Let's see the results. And we finish it with a fastest lap of 2 minutes 06.496. Decently quick, not the quickest you can go, but still a solid lap time, I'd say, overall. We'll finish the whole race in another 7 minutes, and our teammate, despite us putting the orders to push, still sits at the back of the pack. Perhaps the AI overall was a bit too clean this race. They're definitely quicker than the standard AI on their own, like in time attacks, but yeah. Next time, I think I'm just going to revert to the good old dirty drivers I'm used to, which should make for a much more chaotic racing experience to come. I hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to let me know what else you'd love to see. Give me a sub and a thumbs up if you truly enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace out.